This is a new thing I'm doing. This is the first post on the Chris's Commentary YouTube channel. And I kind of did some similar stuff like this a couple of years ago. If you followed me on social media, I would post selfie reactionary things on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And I would record too. Yeah, when I started a podcast, Basic Thoughtonomics. But I just think, by doing a YouTube channel, looking forward to this, having the sustained visual, and it's just going to be similar stuff to what I talked about on the podcast and on my selfie videos, sports, wrestling. I don't know, maybe some social stuff, political stuff. I don't know. I don't want to get into polarizing subjects really, but although I do think I have the kind of personality and the temperament where I can say things that, I might disagree with people, but at the same time, I think I can say things in a way that's not gonna, maybe you might disagree, but it won't rub people the wrong way or offend people. I think that's a great strength of mine. I'm very relatable. Feel like I'm very charming, charismatic. Just have a great personality, great sense of humor, and I'm looking to showcase that here too, and hopefully have fun with it, and hopefully build a following and an audience, and be able to connect with people and relate to people. And I think the main thing is just doing this to have fun with it and enjoy it. So hopefully I do that. And for this first post, this is nothing really newsworthy. It's not timely or anything, but if you follow me, or at least I was a huge fan of wrestling. And I always just like to talk about things and give perspective, give context on it. It's not timely or anything, but I just want to talk about one of my two favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. One of my top two, and that was the Rock versus Hulk Hogan from WrestleMania 18 from the Sky Dome in 2002. And this match, it was just, to me, it had everything. It was just awesome. I think the story was great. The return of Hulk Hogan coming back after a 9-year absence, coming back to the company that he just elevated and launched into the stratosphere. Coming back to the company where he just became a rock star, a larger than life figure. Although he's coming back as a bad guy with the NWO, but I just thought that now looking back, I couldn't really put it in that context at the time. I was 11, 12 years old, but looking back, it felt like so special, unique. Hulk Hogan coming back, and then they set it up that he takes on The Rock, and The Rock still at this time, he's the number one guy at the top of his game. This is the tail end of his full-time wrestling career. At the time, like I said, I was 11, 12. I still really couldn't comprehend work and careers at this point. So, and this was before social media. So I think a lot of people, maybe even older than me, kind of felt the same way. You didn't know this was kind of going to be the end of The Rock's full-time career. But like I said, he was at the top of his game at this point, and they have a great promo to agree to seal the match. The Rock coming out, challenging him. I really wasn't that big a fan of the succeeding storyline. There was nothing really that stood out. I guess they really tried to get you to hate Hulk. He ran over The Rock in the ambulance with his truck, and tried to kill him. I guess they, like I said, they really wanted to get heat on Hulk. But I don't know. I wasn't that big into the storyline. It was more I thought the agreement on the match, the promo for the match, setting it up was really great, and then just the match itself. And then yeah, fast forward to that night. I think it was March 17th at the Sky Dome, and a lot of symmetry there. Hulk is returning to the place where he had his only WrestleMania loss to Ultimate Warrior, and the crowd was just electric that night. I've never seen a crowd so lively, upbeat, so roaring, and I think it. Now looking back, the pre-match promo too was awesome. That's one of my favorite pre-match promos of all time, which now you have to pay for. But I'm not even going to get into it. I don't feel like talking trash or being negative right now. But I thought the pre-match promo was awesome, really putting in perspective, like I said, Hulk's legacy in WWE, WWF, it still was at the time. And then the promo concludes and Hulk's music hits, and it's kind of like unexpected. He gets a huge roar from the crowd, even though he's coming in as the bad guy. And it wasn't like 80s, 90s Hulk Hogan, the roar he got when he was real American and everything. But just like I said, I think it was kind of unexpected that reaction he got when the NWO music hit. And watching it too on TV, and I thought JR and King did an awesome job, and I think sometimes it gets understated. Just kind of a sidebar, just how impactful, how legendary they were as announcers, making it really feel like sport and legitimate. But during Hulk's entrance, King talks about how in the world of sports, we'd never be able to see Babe Ruth go up against Barry Bonds or Mike Tyson go up against Muhammad Ali. But tonight we're going to get to see it with The Rock going up against Hulk Hogan. And I thought that was so cool. Even though, yeah, it's scripted, it's predetermined, but the little things like that make you feel like it's sport, it's real. And that's what was so good about it back then when they cared about kayfabe. But that was a memorable part to me, hearing King on commentary. And The Rock has his entrance, but nothing really notable about that. It's just more, I think it's more notable how you hear more cheers from the youthful people, like the cheers you could just tell it's more from like kids and teenagers, not as loud and as booming as Hulk's cheers. But then they have Rock has his entrance, then they have stare down, and that was just, I don't know, that might have been my favorite part. And I think it was kind of impromptu after looking it up, hearing back on it. The stare down they had where they creep towards each other in the center of the ring and just stare at each other, and the crowd is just going electric, and they're so raucous and rabid, and they both look at each side of the crowd, and the flash bulbs going off, and JR on commentary says how this is a WrestleMania moment, and it's just one of those moments where you get like you get chills going up and down the hairs on your arms. And that was so legendary to me, that stare down they had. And then the match starts, and they lock up, and I love this part too. They lock up, and Hulk throws him back and starts like doing his flexing poses, and like he's real American again. And the crowd is just going berserk, like it's reached like a crescendo at this point, and it happens twice. Like they lock up again, and Hulk gives him a shoulder block and does like his little call to the crowd, and like I said, I mean, it can't be overstated. Just the reaction of the audience that night, it gives you chills. And as far as the rest of the match, I mean, it wasn't the best match from a technical standpoint. That was never really Hulk's strength. He was a showman. He had the physique, but he was just never really the most agile, athletic, nimble guy. Wasn't a savvy technical wrestler like Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels, but his matches had great drama and great theater, and I think that's what was so special about him and his run in WWF in the 80s and 90s. So the match, like I said, artistically wasn't that great, but the crowd was just so into every move, hanging on every move and counter, and the way they would cheer Hulk. And it was like there was like almost a switch in the way that the crowd reacted. Like every time Hulk made a move, the crowd just roared. Every time Rock was on the offense, the crowd booed, and you had that back and forth element to it, and I thought it was so unique and just added to the legacy of the match. And then a memorable part is when I think Rock gives Hulk a rock bottom and goes for the pin. Hulk kicks out and Hulk's up again, like it's 1993, like the last time he was a babyface in WWF, and he hulks up, and like I said before, like the crowd, it's reaching a crescendo again, and Rock goes to punch Hulk blocks it, does his couple of punches, gives him the big boot, gives him the leg drop, and again, on commentary, JR just adds so much to it. He goes, he beat Andre the Giant with that move. And like I said, just one of those moments where you get the chills listening to it. And Hulk goes to pin Rock, and I've never heard a crowd so loud when going along with the ref, when the ref's counting 1, 2, and Rock kicks out, and just the exasperation from the crowd when Rock kicks out. It was just so like the air let out of a balloon. It was just the emotional investment of the crowd. It was just unlike anything I've ever seen. And then match concludes, but yeah, that was just so legendary, that leg drop that Hulk gave. And then Hulk goes for the leg drop again, misses. Rock then gives him, I think, 2 rock bottoms and a people's elbow, and the Rock wins. And it was just kind of like the end of like a roller coaster ride. That's kind of how it felt, just the ebbs and flows, the emotions of the crowd and the audience. And Rock still, even though a lot of the crowd went in Hulk's favor, he still got a huge reaction when he won. And then kind of set the stage for Hulk to become babyface, I think, next night on Raw. But yeah, it's just something I always wanted to talk about and give context on. And like I said, just a roller coaster of emotions, and the back and forth of it, and just 2 icons at even Hulk at this time. He's still at the top of his game. I think he was 49 at the time, but just a really just legendary match, and just something I always wanted to give context, insight, perspective on. And yeah, it's just something I always want to do, and this was fun, and I enjoyed this. And if anyone has any feedback or commentary, would love to hear from you. But this is first video in the books on the Chris's Commentary YouTube channel. Not sure what I'm gonna do next, but we'll see. And if you listen, I appreciate it, and take care.